So we're back this week with another episode review of She-Hulk, episode 5. So we pick up where the last episode left off, with Jen being sued by Titania for the trademark of the name She-Hulk. So we finally get the return of Titania, who we haven't seen since the ending of the first episode, where she busts into the courtroom, and somehow she wasn't charged with anything. But she's trademarked the name She-Hulk, so now she's suing Jen for use of the name She-Hulk, even though Jen never wanted to be called She-Hulk. We sort of learned that she's kind of grown fond of the name in this episode, maybe? Again, if she never wanted to be called She-Hulk, I think the only reason she keeps it is because that's the comic book character name, She-Hulk. We can't change it at this point. But to me, otherwise, it seems like a non-legal issue. Jen never wanted the name, give the name Titania. So, Titania has decided to market a skincare line titled She-Hulk, even though it doesn't have the She-Hulk colors of purple and green. So I think it's been like, a month or two since the courtroom incident at the end of the first episode, and she's like got the skincare line like already ready to go with the name She-Hulk trademarked. Like, that seems a little fast to me. Although they do say it's not FDA approved, so maybe she just had a skincare line lying around and then just slapped the name She-Hulk on it, and now she's marketing it. I don't know. It's a little fast, I think. So I don't really like this kind of legal situation that we're in this week. It's not as fun as the shape-shifting light elf from Asgard, or even the weird magician from last episode. At least we had Madison. We don't have any Madison type characters this episode. This episode's kind of losing the fun of the show. There's not a whole lot other than, I think, Nikki and Pug are the probably highlights of this episode. So I love Nikki teaming up with Pug, and they go to this boba shop, and I love the boba shop guy who's like, this is just a boba shop. So I like them teaming up, and then they come across these knockoff Avengers and Avengers merchandise, and then of course they have to buy some, and Pug's actually really into it. He's got the Captain America shield and Thor hammer, so that was kind of fun. I think Nikki's the MVP of this episode. She's hyping up Jen and She-Hulk and really trying to sell her to this fashion designer that we meet named Luke. And so that whole scene is just a whole lot of fun. It's probably the best scene in the episode. So I like this whole plot that everybody keeps telling Jen that she needs new clothes and she doesn't see a problem with it. So we find this costume designer that creates suits for superheroes, and he's kind of this eccentric fashion designer. He's a little too over the top for me, just a tad. But I really like the actor. He was in The Flight Attendant. He's a good actor, and so I hope maybe we get more of this character, because it was kind of fun and everything. And again, like I said, Nikki did a great job really trying to hype up Jen. So I hope we get more out of that guy, and I just like that whole storyline, because I think the She-Hulk suit is ill-fitting even in She-Hulk form. It doesn't fit her in Jen form, and it doesn't fit her in She-Hulk form, so she definitely needs a costume upgrade for sure. Like I said, I don't care for the lawsuit between Jen and Titania, but I really like the new character, the lawyer, Miss Book, that we got this episode. I thought she did a great job. And I really thought it was fun when she points out that Jen just happened to mention the two Avengers that use their actual names. I thought that was kind of funny. And so I thought she was a really good character. I hope we get to see more of her going forward. And I really liked when she pulled Jen aside and told her that, she deserves better than those stupid guys that she went on dates with. And then they have a drink at the bar. That was a lot of fun too. So I hope we get to see more of her character. She seemed really cool. So Jen gets the idea to drag in all her dates from the last episode to help testify for her in court. I don't really like the doctor guy. He says that he wouldn't have been into Jen as she is, and that he was only into She-Hulk because She-Hulk's amazing. And I just thought that was really sad for Jen. But Jen is She-Hulk. She is She-Hulk. Now, she does have more confidence when she's in Hulk form, and I think that confidence is attractive. Jen herself is very self-conscious and self-deprecating and doesn't really, believe in herself in the dating world. And, she's cute. Jen's a cute girl. She seems like a lot of fun. I think if she just definitely got a new wardrobe and, really kind of took on that confidence that she personifies when she's Hulk, or She-Hulk, she could get a date. And so I really didn't like that guy just being like, I mean, he should have just said he's attracted to She-Hulk and not Jen. Like, that's what it was about. Like, he thinks She-Hulk's more attractive and Jen's not attractive, because on the inside it was Jen still saying all those same words. It wasn't a different person on the date. So I just didn't like that guy. I didn't like him when he ditched Jen at the end of the last episode, and I don't like him saying these things about Jen in this episode. So, and I felt really bad for Jen afterwards too. I think maybe she's starting to see that there's a difference between why they like She-Hulk and why they don't like Jen, and maybe this is part of her journey of how she can incorporate the two a bit better, and maybe she can be more like She-Hulk in Jen form. And so, maybe that's part of her journey, I don't know. But we do get the return of Todd, one of the dates from the last episode, and he runs into her at the law firm, and of course he says, "Oh, I didn't realize you worked here," which is a lie, I think, because, it's public knowledge that she works there. She's the face of the superhero law division they have, and he said he was a big fan of hers, so, and then of course he's a client there, so how would he not know that she worked there? That didn't make sense. So he's a little shady, a little creepy, and he's definitely up to something, I think. So we'll have to kind of see what happens with him going forward. Because he is represented by the cool lady, Miss Book, I really hope she's not in on it. I really hope she's just a good lawyer and hopefully a friend to Jen. But I don't know. There's definitely something shady going on with this Todd guy. So hopefully it's a storyline that will actually go somewhere, unlike the Titania storyline. So the episode ends with a teaser of Daredevil popping up, because we get a glimpse of his new helmet that the costume designer created. And so maybe that's what brings him to LA, is to get his new costume. Although, why is he contracting to somebody in LA to make a costume? I mean, why couldn't he just get somebody in New York? So, but maybe that's what brings Daredevil here. So hopefully maybe next week we'll get to see Daredevil pop up, which of course we knew was going to happen from the trailers. And, I think we're all pretty excited to see what their interactions are going to be, especially since they are both lawyers. My guess is they might just be in superhero costume form. It'd be interesting to see if he was brought to LA for a case and they can go head to head as lawyers. That would be a lot of fun. But so far, what this show telling me is that they're not going to do that, because this show's kind of been what I think they were going to do. They're not doing. So I would love for them to do that, but my guess is they'll just meet in superhero form and fight on the rooftop or whatever, like we saw in the trailer. And then there's no end credit scene this week, which is disappointing. The end credit scene, we could have had, Nikki and Pug. That could have been a fun end credit scene. This episode is just really lacking that fun that I think a lot of us really enjoyed from last week's episode with Madison and Wong. And even the episode before that with the shape-shifting elf. And so I just think this episode just kind of got a little lost in what it's doing, where it's going. This is a filler episode, basically. And not that filler episodes are bad. Some of my favorite episodes of Buffy are filler episodes. But when you have a show like these Disney Plus shows that are only 6, 9 episodes long, you can't afford to have filler episodes. Every episode needs to be constantly pushing the plot forward. And so what was the point of this episode is my question. We leave it having had, some cool moments. Again, the Nikki stuff was a lot of fun. But what was the point of it? How is this pushing the plot forward? Titania is definitely upset at the end of this, sure, and maybe Todd might be setting up something, and then we're getting a tease for Daredevil, and we're getting a tease for her costume. We don't even see her new suits that she got. So what's the point of this episode? It's all set up for what might happen down the future. And again, judging by how we've handled things so far, I'm not actually super confident that we're going to actually pay anything off. I hope we are, but I'm starting to lose my confidence in this show just a little bit, because it doesn't seem to be like it's going anywhere. What's going on with the people that were trying to get Jen's blood? I mean, they haven't come back to try again in Jen form. We still don't know why Titania broke into the courtroom to begin with. at the end of the first episode, and it's never mentioned or explained or anything about why she has like superpowers. So what's going on with Titania, we still don't know. I mean, she's mad at Jen at the end of this episode, so I think from the trailer we know we're going to see more of her, but is she the villain? Is she the one behind the people trying to get her blood? Or none of this stuff is seeming to go together, and we've seemed to lost focus already on this show. Like the legal stuff in episode 3 and 4, and even the Blonsky stuff, that was all like a lot of fun, but what are we doing with the show as a whole? So that's kind of where it's losing me. When you have such short seasons like that, you really need to be laser focused. You don't have time for episodes that don't go anywhere. And so I really hope Marvel and Disney, they learn how to craft a better show if they want to keep the seasons so short. Otherwise, I would say just add more episodes. Why are we doing such short seasons? I know it's like for production costs and stuff, but if we're doing that, then we need to tighten up the narrative also. So I think that Disney, Marvel are still trying to find their footing and trying to find the balance, and they just haven't gotten there. But I really hope that they're working at it and they're not just saying this is good enough. So that's kind of my main complaint. I went on a little bit of a rant there, but I really think that's mainly the problem of all these Marvel Disney Plus shows and even some of the Star Wars shows. And so I still enjoy the She-Hulk show. I just want us to kind of get to the point a little bit and kind of move the plot forward and figure out what are all these plot threads going on and everything. And I don't really like that, we just tease something and we're never going to pay it off. Or we tease something, but we're not going to pay it off until the last episode. That's not super great storytelling. You need to constantly be dropping breadcrumbs along the way. So, I still like She-Hulk. I still enjoyed some of this episode. Like I said, Nikki I thought was a great MVP of the episode. Her and Pug were amazing. And I liked the fashion designer guy. I thought he was fun. And so there's some good stuff in here. And then also there was like a scene with the cousin that was also pointless too. It's like, cut out the pointless stuff and let's just actually get to the point. So those are my thoughts on the episode 5 of She-Hulk. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you like the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel for more Marvel reviews, She-Hulk weekly reviews. And thank you all for watching. And until next time, this is just a Boba Shop. Bye.